I bought this place for one reason: the pool. Not the house, not the street. Definitely not the neighbors. Just the pool. It was old. The concrete was cracked. The water was green. But I saw what it could be. And more importantly, I saw freedom. No HOA. No rules. No one breathing down my neck about backyard furniture colors or how tall my grass was. Just a deep, beautiful pool that I could call my own. The previous owner, Mr. Galloway, was this quiet, soft-spoken man in his 80s. Barely left his porch and apparently let some of the neighbors from the fancy HOA community behind the property use the pool. That wasn't in any paperwork, just a handshake deal. You know, I didn't think much of it. What mattered to me was the survey, the deed, and the word, not part of any HOA printed loud and clear. That was enough. I dumped about 15 grand into renovations, new concrete color-changing LEDs, a slick outdoor kitchen loungers, the whole 9 yards. I turned that forgotten corner of the backyard into a little resort. My friends loved it. Weekends were grill-outs, cold beers, and lazy swims under the string lights. It was perfect until Karen showed up. I'll never forget that Saturday, hot enough to make asphalt bubble. We were out there just hanging when I spotted her standing at the back fence, arms crossed, face twisted into a scowl. At first I thought maybe she was lost or just nosy. But no, she was on a mission. "The community pool isn't supposed to be used until 4 p.m. on weekends," she barked. I squinted at her, confused. "What community pool?" "That one," she said, pointing directly at mine. "You're breaking HOA rules." I laughed. Honest to God, laughed. "Ma'am, this is my backyard. I bought this house. This pool came with it." She wasn't amused. "I've lived here for 8 years. That pool's always been part of the HOA amenities. The previous owner knew that." "Well, I'm the current owner," I said, still trying to stay polite. "And this pool is on private property. It's not part of your HOA." That's when she hit me with the ultimate trump card. "I'm on the HOA board." Oh boy. She said it like that, made her queen of the land. I showed her the property survey on my phone. Clear lines, cleared the boundaries. She waved it off like it was a menu at Applebee's. Then she stormed off, mumbling about calling security. I didn't think she'd actually do it, but I was wrong. 20 minutes later, here comes Mr. Khaki Shorts himself. A president clipboard and all. He gives me this practiced smile and says, "Let's work this out reasonably." "Sure, buddy." I pull up the same documents again, a title. "Survey the whole package." He nods like he's humoring me, then whips out a crusty old map from what looked like the 1800s. "This area," he says, pointing, "has always been community space." I tried to explain that property lines were redrawn decades ago, long before the HOA ever existed. But he wasn't having it. And now the peanut gallery, aka the neighbors, had started gathering at the fence, watching like it was the Super Bowl. That's when Karen said it again. "If you don't clear out, I'm calling the police." "You're calling the cops on me?" "In my own backyard?" I asked, stunned. "For trespassing on HOA property," she snapped, already dialing. Well, that escalated. Cops showed up about 30 minutes later. One officer came through my house. Officer Rodriguez. Calm professional. Maybe even slightly entertained. I handed her the documents. She looked them over, nodded, and said, "These appear to be in order." Then we walked out back together, just in time to catch Karen trying to shout down the other officer, who was clearly losing patience. Rodriguez showed her my paperwork, and Karen practically ripped it out of her hands. This can't be right. We've always had access. Rodriguez was unshaken. That doesn't mean it's yours. That just means the previous owner let you use it. That agreement doesn't carry over. The HOA president piped in, trying to salvage things, talking about some verbal agreement, community expectations. Blah, blah. Rodriguez shut it down. Do you have that in writing? No. Then this is private property, and entering it without permission is trespassing. Period. Karen lost it. So you're just letting him steal our pool? Ma'am, the officer said deadpan. He bought it. You can't steal something you legally own. They left soon after. But it wasn't over. That night, I looked up the HOA website and nearly choked. They had my pool listed as a community amenity. Rules hours, even photos of my property. I called my lawyer first thing Monday. He took one look at the deed and the site and said, "We're going after them." We sent a cease and desist. Then I installed cameras, thank God I did. Within a week, we caught 3 separate groups trying to enter. One even had a key. A key. Turns out the HOA had been handing out access like it was their clubhouse. My attorney filed a countersuit trespassing false advertising harassment. We had footage, screenshots, and legal documents. Their lawyer must have realized they had no leg to stand on, because within days they asked for a settlement meeting. At the meeting, no more tough talk. They agreed to pay me $7,500 for the nonsense cover. $3,200 legal fees. Take down all references to the pool and send a community-wide notice making it very clear that my backyard was off limits. I took that money and built a taller fence with better locks and motion lights. Heard through the grapevine, Karen got booted from the board. Too much bad press, too much money lost. And get this, a couple months later, a realtor contacted me, asking if I'd sell my place to the HOA. Said losing the pool had dropped property values. I declined. Now I throw low-key pool parties with the neighbors who actually respected my space through all that. The rest, they just peek through the slats in my fence, pretending not to be jealous. So let me ask you, was I in the wrong for holding my ground? Or did that HOA have it coming? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how you'd have handled it.